Hello dreamers, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we'll be building a whole fairy village on the Meadow floating island. I actually decided to divide the video in two parts because the video was too long and I thought I would divide it, and today we are going to build the first part of the fairy village. And we are using Tinkerbell's house skin among many other fairy core house skins, as well as the new river kit bundle that we got recently in the premium shop, and some items of the Garden of Whimsey star path that we had previously. At the same time, this whole build is also functioning as a little tutorial of the new river kit bundle, on which I have to say I learned so much, and I want to actually also share the things I learned with you. So I guess I'm gonna give you also a little tutorial on that in this video. So if you're interested in this speed build and river kit tutorial, definitely keep watching. Also expect part 2 soon when we're finishing up this build. And I would say let's jump right into the speed build. So the first thing you can see me doing here is basically just putting down all the fairy house skins we have and we want in this build. And I decided to use the I would say blumeria house skin as a centerpiece, since it's all around it and it has no corners, so I thought it's perfect for the centerpiece of our village. For me, this step is pretty important to just lay down all my houses I want to use in this build, and yeah, to like twist the houses around and to just check how it is with the space we have and everything. And just a little tip for like if you're a beginner and you don't have that much experience yet with like decorating and stuff, I think it's even more important to just build yourself a kinda beginning or centerpiece thing with, like as I did with a house skin, or it must not be a house skin. You can also just like use a fast travel well, for example, or like a topiary or anything, just to have it easier for like building up whatever you want to build. I also use the winding path method that also Dreamlight Anya, I think, made a whole tutorial about the winding paths. So definitely check out her account or her channel, I have to say. So yeah, she has a very structured tutorial for the winding paths, and yeah, it was also honestly my first try with this path, but I think it looks pretty decent, and yeah, I'm pretty happy. also like to do in such giant builds, I have to say, because it's really not the smallest build. It's like a whole floating island. So yeah, what you see me also is to actually like scroll a couple of times through my whole inventory, and I also like to like keep the colors of certain house skins in mind. And yeah, I like to put down a bunch of stuff I think would look nice to the house skin I'm building. So yeah, and in this case, I actually used a lot of green things and also purple things and like pink, yellow, everything that matches the house skin I'm building at the moment. You have to know that I'm this kind of person that really goes with the flow. And yeah, also in this build, I wanted to like let my imaginations run free. And yeah, I used a bunch of the of my favorite tree clusters actually from Storybook Vale, and also from the bind. And I just think the trees are really beautiful and they match really with the fairy core vibes that I want to go for. And also I'm as I already started to say, I'm this kind of person that just wants to have things very overgrown in certain builds. Also, yeah, in like this build, I really threw in just a bunch of foliage and my favorite flower lamps, and also like the glowing mushrooms. And of course, one of the best items we had in this game, the beach grass, which you will actually see me using pretty often in this whole build. Now, I had this idea in mind to like surround my centerpiece house with the river kit, and therefore I created a little bridge first that will connect the fast travel well to our centerpiece house. And as you can see, I'm like starting to lay down my a river. And a important thing about the river kit you might have to know, which I'm certain I'm not the first person who discovered it, is actually to like buy a bunch of the little squares from Scrooge, since they're pretty important for your river. I mean, like the body in general. So just save up some of the very little squares, as well as the borders, just a very small border in like the straight border and the curved border. Actually, just like all the small parts of the river kit. They should really be your best friends throughout the whole process of the river, and I'm gonna tell you why. With the small things, you can actually create curves, and so that the river is not like very straight. So with the small things, you can keep the river actually pretty natural, like a natural river is. Natural river is not always straight, it's very curved. And so with these little, like you see here, with these little borders and squares, not only the little ones, also the normal straight borders here, like the rectangle borders, are pretty important, or should be pretty important to your a river creation, since they give you a very natural touch on your river. So don't make the mistake and use a big pond like I was using in a second. I removed it later, but don't make the mistake, because it like ruins your natural little river flow, I would say. Another pretty interesting thing I discovered throughout my whole river creation is actually, no matter how you like place borders or corner pieces, or also like the little pond squares, or I like the little ponds, and pretty every pond body, I would say. Everything you place just could fit. Like if you decide to use a border, then how do I say this? If you decide to like just round or just create your borders first, and then the body, like the filling inside the water, basically. No matter how you place the borders, it will always fit with the body. Hope you understand what I want to say. So basically the whole thing functions like a wall system that we had with our different wall bundles, but it's not, of course, a wall. It's a river, but it, like, the concept is pretty the same as we have in the walls, I think. is also where I actually screwed up a bit because, yeah, I was just in my river element that I completely forgot to stop in the middle on the way to Tinkerbell's house because I want to actually create another bridge that is right in front of Tinkerbell's house. And yeah, so I basically removed the part where I want to have the bridge. It's also, I think, because I don't really plan my steps through a giant build like this. I just decide everything pretty random, and also where I want to place certain things, and also the pathing, for example. So yeah, I knew I wanted to let the water run through Tinkerbell's house, so through the tunnel, and at the end the rainbow thing. But I did really decide to build the bridge pretty random. Therefore, you might see me just deleting a few steps and rebuild some things because yeah, I really like to go with the vibes of certain builds. As I already said, I am really paying attention to the certain house skins in the builds. And yeah, I want to really match the surroundings with the house skins. So that's why I also don't plan in advance. Also, I apologize when it's confusing sometimes. If I always switch through the different designs. Because yeah, so I have this thing also in mind that if I'm building a huge build on a floating island, I don't really stick to one design, like one house skin, and decorate it and then move to another. I just really like to build one thing and then move to another, build, design a bit on that, and then moving to the next. So, and also sometimes returning and add some foliage or some things I think could be added, and yeah, or change some things also. I think it's kind of confusing, or it could be kind of confusing. But sometimes my brain just works like this, and also in a giant build like this, I think it's pretty smart if you have a concept on how you basically build up your designs. So that's what I usually suggest. So don't be irritated if I stick to that habit sometimes. In the end, I also finally ended up by putting the gazebo just behind the blumeria house, and I put two of the red, I think, vine trees right behind the house skin to just create an arch over the gazebo. Also, to have a real fairy effect, I use these dandelions, and yeah, I just put them around my whole build to, as I said, have the tiny effect. But I find you will have it anyways with all the cute house skins we have in fairy vibes when walking through. It's also important to again check on your build, and if there is maybe some space that you didn't fill up, and you can also refill it again so there is no gap in your creations. I also want to apologize for not having the orange autumn house skin in this video, because as I filmed it with the PS5, the video was a bit too long. I think a few seconds too long, and I tried to trim it in Share Factory, but it also didn't work. There was an error the whole time, so that's why I couldn't transfer it into this video. So my apologies for that if you didn't see the building process here. For Tinkerbell's house, I of course used some of the Tinkerbell items we got in a Tinkerbell bundle that we once had in a premium shop. And of course, I also added the puff air balloon from Tinkerbell. It's really one of my favorite items in the game because I love the sparkles that actually come from the top of the air balloon. And of course I added a bunch of beach grass and these very beautiful glowing flowers that also came in the Tinkerbell bundle. Just some items that have almost the same color. Unfortunately, there is an error with the Tinker table in my game because if I try to use it from my inventory, there is no Tinker table there. So even though I already bought it from Scrooge, I can't see the Tinker table, unfortunately. So that's why I needed to use another table that gave me also fairy vibes. It's a bit sad, but the other table was also doing it work. That was it also of today's video. I really hope you enjoyed part 1 of my fairy village. In part 2 we are continuing with many other house skins like the teapot house skin we got from the previous star path and the mushroom house skin as well as the pixie dust mill and all the other fairy core house skins we have in the game. The whole walkthrough we'll also be doing in part 2. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in part 2. Bye!